The following contest is for the United States Tag Team Championship. It is set for one fall with a 1-hour time limit. Introducing first the challengers from New York City, Jerry Sags, Brian Knobs, the Nasty Boys.
The number 3 ranked tag team in the world today. They're street smart, raised on the streets of New York City. My colleague, Paul E. Dangerously, the president of their fan club, of course.
The Scarsdale chapter.
Yeah, who cares? Boy, this is a tough duo. This will be as physical a contest, fans, as you will see. And indeed, we are all in the Halloween spirit. But could it be the Frankensteiner? It was made for tonight.
And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents from Detroit, Michigan. Total combined weight, 525 pounds. They are the United States Tag Team Champions, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, the Steiner Brothers.
They are intense. They are former All-Americans from the University of Michigan, and they're going to get it on right now. We're not going to wait for the bell to sound. Rick Steiner and Knobs in the ring. Sags and Scott Steiner on the outside. And they are cooking. They are laying the leather to each other.
You know, it was the Nasty Boys, the first team to ever stretch the Steiner Brothers out right here in this building 4 weeks ago. And it looks like the Steiners don't like it, do they, huh?
The Steiners were busted open after being hit in the face after the contracts were signed for this very match. Scott Steiner rammed into the steel railing while the dog-faced gremlin, a chair in the back of the
They
head.
got one Steiner down, they got one more to go.
Man, this one is starting out nasty. And I don't mean nasty boy, I mean it's starting out physical.
I smell a title
headbutt.
change. I smell a title change right here.
Jerry Sags has got Scott Steiner up on the second or the top turnbuckle. The referee's outside trying to break up the other two.
He's going for a superplex.
But he reverses it. Scotty Steiner reverses it. Sags up on that top turnbuckle. I'm not so sure the match has even started. Here comes the belly to belly. What an ovation for the crowd as they came out of their seats on that move.
Bunch of animals here. Bunch of animals cheering something like that.
Referee back in, and an elbow by Brian Knobs. Brian Knobs and Jerry Sags. Rick Steiner back in. The Steiner's so irate. If you watch our broadcast, you know that when the contracts were signed for this very match tonight at Halloween Havoc, after the signing, the Nasty Boys attacked the Steiners. They hit the Steiners in the face with the championship belts. There were lacerations. Blood was spilled. And then it was Brian Knobs who power slammed Scott Steiner on a table, destroyed it. And the Steiners have not forgotten. But this one is for all the marbles. This one is for the United States Tag Team Championship.
Beautiful back elbow right there by Jerry Sags. You know, the Nasty Boys are cool enough to play Atlantic City, and they're tough enough to walk around the South Bronx with the winnings taped to their foreheads.
Missed with a clothesline there. He set too early. Both arms are cut. He's got him up and takes him straight down. What a move. And dogface in. The big brother, Rick Steiner, with the right hand, knocked Brian Knobs right outside. The Steiners are originally from Bay City, Michigan. NCAA All-Americans at the University of Michigan. What athletes.
Oh, my. Oh, my. What are they going to do to him?
Sags up on the shoulder. A bulldog from the top rope. Oh, my God, what a move.
I've seen the Steiner line. I've seen the DDT off the top rope. I've even seen the Frankensteiner, but I've never seen that.
Wait a minute, the chair from behind. Again, the referee was chastising Rick Steiner for entering illegally.
I smell title change.
They didn't make the tag.
Two.
They didn't make the tag. A near fall here.
But they got him worn down. The damage has been done. He was hit by the chair. If they work on him more, they'll be the next United States Tag Team Champions.
Side slam there by Brian Knobbs of the Nasty Boys. Kicking right in the back. Now they're working on the back of Scott Steiner. Nailed by the steel chair. Remember earlier in the match, he was sent to the steel railings. The small of his back, the lower part of Scott Steiner's back, has got to be injured. There is a power slam.
Beautifully done, too. You know, this is
Lateral
it.
press, 1, 2 and a half. 2.5 here. Look at him hold his back.
Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. You know, that back was hurt earlier 4 weeks ago when they slammed him on the table. Scotty Steiner is not a healthy wrestler right now.
Scott Steiner out here on the floor, not too far from us. And a knee drop right off the apron by Jerry Sags.
You know, the Nasty Boys are very jealous of the Steiners. Their parents couldn't afford to send them to college like Mr. and Mrs. Steiner could.
The Steiners were raised with very nice middle-class parents. They went to college on an athletic scholarship, University of Michigan. Nice slam there by Jerry Sags.
Subway intelligence.
Again, working on the back of Scott Steiner. Very simplistic game plan. The Steiners, as we all know, execute their greatest moves from a vertical base. The Steiner line, the suplexes, the slams. To take them off their feet and work on the lower back is good, sound strategy. Salto slam there by Jerry Sags. He's on top, and Rick Steiner interrupted the count. He perhaps saved the U.S. title right there. Now, no tag was made.
But no tag was necessary because the referee wasn't looking. Yeah, it's a simplistic game plan, but it's a good one. It's a sound one. They're keeping Scott Steiner, and they're keeping him hurt where he was hurt the worst, in the lower part of his back.
What a tremendous crowd you can see in the background. They were here early. All the seats are sold here in Chicago at Halloween Havoc. And look at him pull the tights for additional leverage. This move, an abdominal stretch. Puts a great deal of pressure on the lower back and on the rib cage area.
And Scott Steiner, who's recovering from that sacroiliac injury when he was slammed on the table by the Nasty Boys. Now notice what's happening right here. Knobbs is reaching for Sags to get added leverage right there. That is really painful.
And Rick Steiner in there again to make sure that that double teaming doesn't persist too long. He drops the elbow there. Jerry Sags dropping the elbow again on the lower back of Scott Steiner. Everything they have done works on that lower back. There's a bear hug.
On the lower back, right there, keeping Scott Steiner hurt. This is obviously their game plan. They started 4 weeks ago when they slammed him on the table. They want to take Scott Steiner out. You cannot, I don't care how muscular you are, you can't protect your lower back.
And another thing about real heavily muscled people, when those back muscles can Charlie horse or cramp up just like a thigh muscle, just like a bicep or a tricep. And Scott Steiner obviously is, he's like etched in stone, etched in granite. Bear hug at a wide base, his shoulder buried into the solar plexus. Hands locked from behind, putting the pressure on the lower back of Scott Steiner in this tag team battle for the United States Tag Team Championship.
And the number 3 ranked tag team, the Nasty Boys, in World Championship Wrestling, what?
In the world.
In the world. But they're in World Championship Wrestling only what, 3-4 months now? And they're ranked number 3 already. This is the fastest rising tag team I've seen since, well, the Steiner Brothers.
Some people have termed it an old cliche, the irresistible force against the immovable object. The Nasty Boys have shown they're not intimidated. They got counter move. He belly suplexed him. Scott Steiner with every ounce of energy he can muster with a belly suplex on Jerry Sags.
But he's a long, long way from his corner.
Brian Knobbs comes in to cut off the path to make the tag. Rick Steiner sends him in. Steiner! Oh, the Steiner line, yes, sir! He sets for another, and he went over the top rope. Oh, no, now Rick Steiner may be hurt. Steiner fell right out on his head, right out here beside us.
And now you got two nasty boys in the ring with only one Steiner. And they're setting him up! They're setting him up!
Spike pile driver! Spike pile driver on Scott Steiner.
1, 2, oh, come on!
Tactical error. Knobs
The
to the
chair!
out of the ring. Ooh, boom, woo, a steel chair. And now Rick Steiner getting outside. This one is getting out of hand. They've used steel chairs. They've used the railing. The security readiness surrounds the ring.
The first guy to make the tag here is going to be member of the victory team.
And he was nailed by that chair. Sags has been...
He's lacerated.
He's lacerated from that steel chair because Rick Steiner nailed him right in the back of the head with it. This is World Championship Wrestling. It is man on man. This is the competitive fires are burning brightly in this one.
He's smart. He prevented the tag and he drew Big Brother Rick in. And while Sags is badly hurt from the laceration on the top of the head, Knobs is at full strength and he goes back to work on the lower back of Scotty Steiner. I'm telling you, I smell upset here.
The Nasty Boys are not deviating from their game plan. They knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to work on one of the Steiners. It has happened to be Scott Steiner. They wanted to work on one body part. It's the lower back, and they've done a magnificent job of punishing the Steiners in one of the most physically intense United States tag team battles I've ever witnessed. Great right hand, but it's not enough. And Knobs runs him right back into the turnbuckle.
Knobs knows he has to turn up the heat right here. Whatever game plan they had, they got to put it into motion now because one nasty boy is badly hurt.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right. He's back up on the apron. He may be a little claret, maybe
Here he
flowing,
comes.
but he's going to be all right. These guys are tough. Look at it. Knobs holding on to make sure that Scott Steiner doesn't make the tag. Again, Rick Steiner comes in. Referee Mike Atkins doing a lot of discretionary officiating because this one has been on the verge of being out of control on more than one occasion. And there's the Boston Crab.
Working
Again,
on
putting
the lower back.
pressure deliberately on the lower back.
This guy is busted open and it doesn't even bother him. Notice that. Doesn't even bother him. They're not afraid of
Can
the
Scott Steiner power out? Look at his arms. Look at the strength of Scott Steiner. And he flips him over with the phenomenal strength of his legs. And Jerry Sags again tags in Brian Knobs. And they prevent Scott Steiner from making the tag to his big brother Rick Steiner. Camel clutch.
Working on the lower back. You know, everybody in World Championship Wrestling has always been so afraid of the Steiner brothers because they're mean, because they're rough and they're tough. The Nasty Boys aren't afraid of them. They eat fear for breakfast and come back for more.
Scott Steiner, Big Ten champion at the University of Michigan. One of that new breed of athletes coming into professional wrestling with a college degree. All-stater in high school in wrestling and in football. But this has gotten about as close to street-style wrestling as one could get. Scott Steiner.
15 minutes gone by. 15 minutes gone by.
15 minutes in this intense contest. He falls back with it. But is he so weakened that he can't make the tag? Knobs made the tag. The Nasty Boys have tagged in and out much more frequently than the Steiners have been allowed to do.
Beautiful, beautiful game plan by the Nasty Boys. No matter what you do to them, these guys just keep, oh, right in the eye.
Steiner fighting back. Inverted atomic drop and make the tag Scott Steiner. These fans sitting on the edge of their seat. What a physical contest this has been. We have seen two upsets already. Candyman Brad Armstrong beating the previously undefeated J.W. Storm. We've seen Ricky Morton and Tommy Rich upset the Midnight Express. Could we be seeing another one in the making here? But this one's for the United States Tag Team title. Irish Whip sends him in, but he missed that move. And the Steiner line. Both Nasty Boys are down. Rick Steiner extending the hand. He wants to make the tag to his brother. Scotty Steiner trying to make the tag. If he makes the tag, this place is going to erupt. face in, straight right hands, and a Steiner line, and a pulverizing move. He's got the Nasty Boys up, cracks their heads together.
Belly to belly!
Belly-to-belly suplex by Rick Steiner, on top for the lateral press, and Sags with the elbow. But Scott Steiner's back in. Now all 4 men are there. How much longer will the referee let this thing stay out of control? Scott Steiner tossed over the top, and Sags nails Rick Steiner from behind in the kidney.
And now they got him all to themselves.
Toss him outside here. Both Steiners now on the outside. Rick Steiner, the Nasty
Behind
Boys.
you! Behind you! Behind you!
A double Steiner line off the top rope. Scott Steiner still on the outside, but Rick Steiner taking it to the battle to both Nasty Boys. But again, he's nailed from behind. Referee's got to get one of these Nasty Boys out of the ring.
Why, I say just let them fight it out. Let's settle it right here, huh? Let's see which two are tougher. I say the Nasty Boys.
Double slam right out here on the outside. Scott Steiner really hurt. He just bounced right off the floor. Rick Steiner's going to try to fight them both. Referee cannot get the Nasty Boys to leave the ring, and they're on the verge of getting disqualified. They mess with that move. Scott Steiner trips him. He pulls Sags out of the ring. Knobs a legal man. Sags ran face first into the post. Steiner line on Sags, on Knobs. Listen to the crowd. They're standing. The Frankensteiner. He got him with a Frankensteiner. 1, 2, 3. The Steiners win it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners and still United States Tag Team Champions, the Steiner Brothers.
Wait a minute, right here, hold it! Right here, they're attacking them right here!
They got the Steiners in the ring. We're watching an instant replay.
Let's come back
in the ring. Look, they got him again.
They got him with those belts. They got him from behind here.
Beautiful.
They're stomping away.
This is the law of the street. If you lose the fight, win the war.
Scott Steiner hit right in the face again by those belts. Sags was battered and bloodied. It could have gone either way. What a contest. The referee thrown down. The Nasty Boys ramming Rick Steiner's shoulder first into the ring post. They may have dislocated his shoulder right there.
They're going to do it to him again.
Oh, good Lord, right into the post. Scott Steiner's got to take care of his brother. I think the Nasty Boys have finally gone to the locker room